Let me welcome Shipra. Shipra Chaturvedi holds a bachelor's in information technology, a great volunteer, and organizers of outreach program with various CSR activities. On a professional side, from being a technical lead at Cognizant to an officer at UBS, she created the live trading game at IBIT Roadshow, regarded as a subject matter expert for global equity derivatives and financial reporting applications. She currently works as a senior associate at Senecron, and she's here to talk about evolving new age product, digital banking. Over to you, Shipra.
Thanks, Satya. Thanks for that wonderful introduction of mine. Just let me share the screen. Okay, I hope the screen is visible and I'm audible.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Hi all, good evening. So Satya gave a beautiful introduction of mine and thankful for that. Yeah, I just categorized myself in the last open conference as self-motivated, humorous, initiator, philanthropic, reliable, adaptable. So I don't know, I mean, how much you should take it. But yes, I mean, I was told to give a good introduction, so that is it. So yes, I have an experience in banking industry of around 8.5 years, and I'm a very passionate volunteer for the student education. Thanks Satya, and thanks IPL for this conference opportunity. Now I have a question here to all of you. Let's start with a question. What is the most difficult part of being a product manager for digital banking products? Shamak or Satya, can you launch the poll, please?
It's live, Shipra.
Okay, great. Oh, sorry. I think, yeah, no, I'm not able to see that. Yeah, now I'm okay. Knowing what customer values is, yeah, Satya, please go ahead. I'll share the presentation. Yeah.
Yep. In the meantime, when you share the presentation, I'll read it out. 31% says knowing what customer values. 27, understanding the market environment. 35, the challenge of digital transformation, and 8% engaging internal stakeholders. So it's kind of an equal verdict around knowing customers' value, market conditions, and digital transformation.
Okay, great. So I think, yes, you all guessed it very right. I mean, the three of them have equal weightage. That's great to see. And I think all these areas are very important in understanding what a digital banking platform can do for the customers, and that is where the product owner or the product managers in digital banking area comes and tries to excel in that. So let me talk about the 4 areas where a product manager needs to excel in digital banking platforms. So that is the evolving new age product. Yes, it's a joy of pure banking. Sitting at home, you don't have to go in the bank, and without physical presence, you can issue a checkbook. I mean, up 20-30 years before, we could not even think of it. So first area that we should excel as a product manager in digital banking products is knowing what customer values, because your customers can range from a person in the village who doesn't even know how to open the bank account to a very high net worth individual, or to a SMB taking a loan from the bank, and a wide variety of customers can be there. So we need to offer those services to all the customers that they value. Now, a person in village wants to open a bank account very smoothly. For that, we need to give them the leverage to understand how to open a bank account. So that is the most important value for them, how to open and then transact. Now, if for a business SMB, the loan transaction smoothly is very important. Maybe whenever they need it in terms of the business in this environment, especially in the pandemic environment. And for a high net worth individual, investment planning, that is very important. So there, you see, there are different sets of customers and different sets of values in terms of digital banking for different sets of customers. So yes, offering the services for customers which customers value with the right customer experience. Now, how do you identify what would be the right customer experience? Definitely, you can do surveys, questionnaires, interviews, all those things. But that is very also important to understand what channels the customer wants to have these facilities. Do they want something which, it can be just a click away from the mobile, or do they want something which can be done on the internet? So it's very so some of them might not possess a very smart a very great mobile which can offer them good variety of speed or 4G internet, but yes, some of them can also go and sit in the cyber cafe and just access the internet banking. So that is also very important, to identify the channels, and then from start to end, like opening a bank account to the end, like whenever the person has to make a transaction, whenever the person has to make an investment plan, guiding them throughout with high standards of quality. Now, standards of quality, how can you define that? That is, whenever we are developing a feature in our digital banking platform, we should always ensure that there is security, because we are integrating digital wallets with the banking. So the transactions have to be smooth and transparent. If a customer loses money and calls on the support number and that money doesn't come for 10 days, then it's a loss, or it's not a quality. So that's something that we really need to value and we need to understand while developing that. Now, how do we do that? We can see in the future in the upcoming slides. So security is very important, then speed is very important. If it takes like more than 2 minutes for me to make a transaction on a mobile app, I would say, okay, I would rather go and do online banking or internet banking via mobile app. Why should I download it also? So that quality in terms of speed and security is very important, and also in terms of relationship maintenance with the customer. How easily are you accessible to the customers when they are in a problem? Now, these all things, when we offer the services that customers value in different segments, when we give them the right experience through their wanted channels, and when we offer them speed, security, and other quality standards, then kind of a relationship is built which is trustworthy and valued. Then your bank is flourishing, and then you can think of other features, other technologies that you can use. So it's a continuous cycle. So knowing what your customer values at different times is also very important, right? The customer might value something else before pandemic, and during pandemic something else. So that is very, very important for a product manager, and it's very important for a product manager to excel in this area, knowing what customer values. How do the product manager can get to know this? By understanding the market environment. By understanding the market environment, what you do is, how do you understand the market environment as a product manager? I'm sure most of you might know about the 4P framework, that is targeting the right customers with the right product at right place, right price, and right promotion skills. So that is obviously very important, but that is just one part of it. Now, in that also, first we need to know what customer values, that is the customer need analysis, for which there are different value proposition frameworks. Second is, we need to recognize and address the speed of change in financial markets. So it's not just, it's not limited to opening a bank account, or just, issuing a checkbook now, which it was earlier. It is much more than that, like digital wallets, integration with the banking apps, and so on. So that is also very, very important. So many apps are coming up each and every day. So we really need to understand that speed and work on it if we really want our digital banking platform to be successful in the market. And then obviously we need to understand the market environment using the PESTEL framework. Now, PESTEL framework stands for political, economical, social, technological, and environmental and legal. So these all things, like when you launch something in a particular market, like I gave the three segments. One is the village person, one is the high net worth individual, and one is the business. Now, for all these three, all the six factors combined together, and the markets, the places, the promotion have to be different. So understanding the market environment and targeting the wide variety of customers with their needs is very, very important skill for the product manager in the digital banking area. Now, how do you achieve? Now you have identified like what customer is valuing. Then you have also understood the market environment. But now the main thing is that you have to develop that, say you have to develop that app, taking all the internal stakeholders, which is very, very important. And being a product manager, you are sitting between UX, tech, and design, right? So you are just sitting in the middle, and understanding each and every one point of view is very, very important. And who are the internal, why I'm talking about only internal stakeholders and not external? Because as a product manager or a product owner in digital banking, first we really have to convince each and every internal stakeholder for the feature we are developing that it is valued by the customers, because it is bringing revenue to you. It is about the customers' money, their hard-earned money. So that is apart, like from all the other products, it is very, very definitely money is involved in other products. But from the other products in banking industry, the money thing is very, very important, as we all know. It's loans, it's personal finance planning, and so on. So I think engaging internal stakeholders is much, much more complex as well as important for a product manager. Now, internals, there are certain skills. These are certain skills which I got to know recently while researching about it, how internal stakeholders can be managed. You should identify and prioritize the key stakeholders. Like if I want to build something in my digital banking platform, or say I have a mobile app of HDFC Bank. Now I'm the product owner or I'm the product manager for HDFC Bank, and I'm identifying and now I have to identify and prioritize key stakeholders. Means who will be my key stakeholder here? Would it be the management? Would it be the experts? Would it be the purchasing, manufacturing, designers? Who? So definitely first management, because their approval is required, then designer, is it really feasible, and then the technical team and experts, right? So we need to prioritize them, identify them, and then go with a plan. Understand and align stakeholder expectations. That is, we need to bring them all on the same page. So one feature development takes a lot of it. If you are integrating with the digital wallet, that is one feature, but there are n number of wallets. So which wallets you should really integrate with? There will be 10 other questions with that, from the perspective of a designer, from the perspective of a technical person, from the perspective of marketing or management. So yeah, I mean, considering all the stakeholders as a product manager, it's a highly complex task to identify, first prioritize, get the approvals, and then understand the expectations and explain in their language to which each one can resonate why we are building this feature and why it is important, and then bring them to consensus. And if there are any disputes, say if a designer is saying no, digital wallet integration is not feasible with this technology, and say the technical person is saying no, I can do it, but this design will not suit. So obviously we have to resolve that dispute very, very upfront, and that is very complex task. That is why engaging internal stakeholders is very important. And these are the skills. You can just identify them, understand and align their expectations, which resonates to each one of them according to their roles. Proactively resolve the disputes if you see any, bring them all to one goal, one consensus. How do we do that? That also we are going to see in the upcoming slides. And speak plainly. Plainly means not like very straightforward, but yes, sometimes we really need to understand like why the feature is important according to you, why it is important for the banking platform, how much revenue it is going to give you. That will be a management question. How customers would use it, that would be a designer question, and so on. So now we have seen what customer values. There were 3 areas that we have seen: knowing what customer values, understanding the market environment, engaging internal stakeholders. And how do you engage internal stakeholders? Like I said, speaking plainly and all those internal engagement skills. Now you have to use influence without authority skills. There is Robert Cialdini also gave 6 principles of persuasion, which is reciprocity, liking, authority, scarcity, consensus, and commitment. So here I would say, if we have to bring all the internal stakeholders together, consensus of all of them coming to one common goal is very, very important. And that's what, as a product manager, we have to do. We have to influence them to bring that feature which we have just thought in our mind to that app or the online banking thing. And we have to do that with building a good relationship with each and everyone, which is definitely at a personal level different, because we all are different human beings. And also respect each and every one's of points. Now, when I say respect each and every one point, it means we need to get an understanding of what they are thinking. If the technical guy comes and say no, it cannot be done, then we need to understand why it can't be done and what is the procedure to make it done. Should we change the design a bit? We have to make them sit together, decide it, and just be be there for both of them and let them talk. So I think commitment and consensus, that consensus is first very important, and then commitment comes from the leader. And reciprocity is when obviously people work towards different goals, then they should be rewarded. So that, and sometimes we might need to show authority. Scarcity and liking are different parameters there. Liking, though, I can say a bit of it, but authority we might have to use sometimes. If we think as a product manager and we have analyzed, we have got the approvals, we have worked on the revenue and numbers, then yes, if something is not working out and there has been a number of instances, then we need to utilize authority. So going back to the previous slide, how do you proactively resolve disputes and how do you engage the stakeholders internally effectively is by following the 6 principles of persuasion formed by Robert Cialdini. Now, the next is digital transformation and challenges. What is digital transformation? Digital transformation is the use of technology to deliver more and more customer as well as business value. The two most important challenges that all product managers face in any digital banking platform is, first of all, there is a new methodology, agile, though now it's not new, but yes, in banking, it's not as much advanced as in other industries. As I've been working in banking, so I understand that still sometimes in projects, waterfall model is followed because of the legacy applications and so on. So following agile in itself is the challenge in certain projects. Second most important thing would be identify the correct roles and then getting those skilled people according to the agile methodology to do the work in each and every area. So that is very, very important. And even if the company tries to follow agile, which has happened personally with certain of my projects in my tenure, that we are trying to follow the agile methodology, but there are certain deadlines, then certainly the requirement changes suddenly when there is a release next day, and then we have to work again, that is again give a commitment to the company, and then there are constraints imposed by that we can't do this, this is not technically feasible or this is not approved. So these all things happen a lot, and in use versus that, using agile methodology, understanding roles, improvising the technology and doing better things is definitely a challenge. And then bringing all of them to the consensus and going ahead is something that a product manager needs to do. And that is why those 4 areas where we say knowing what customer values, understanding the market environment, engaging internal stakeholders, and then understanding the challenge of digital transformation. Sometimes certain technologies are not there in the banking industry, which is like legacy applications cannot be built on those technologies. So there are certain applications which cannot use AI. So, and they cannot be automated. So definitely it's going to lag if we can't build up those things. And so sometimes also it happens that in many finance, it's not about big banks or small SMBs, it's about understanding the finance is a very, very complex thing because it's a very vast subject. And like equity derivatives I worked in, then there are different to get all together retail banking and all of it. So in each and every category, we need to give a very proper justification for digital transformation of the digital transformation of the features. So when we have to understand that we have to understand a wide variety of things with a wide variety of customer segments, with technology, with technical understanding, design understanding, and so on. Definitely not in the core depth, but yes, to a certain level. So that's why deriving out that business justification is very, very important, and that's the most critical challenge that a product manager faces, because while working in different banking sectors and industries, it's very difficult to understand each and every category. So these are the challenges. So these are the 4 areas where a product manager should excel in that. Now let's talk about certain features. That is from revolution to evolution. That was 2019, 5 digital banking features that was captured in 2019, first of all. Okay, are you able to hear the sound?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't forget to press the subscribe button and hit that.
Okay. Thanks for watching that video. That was awesome description of the features, certain features which include these 10 digits. Now, I have also researched on 10 digital features, digital banking features, which a customer values in the present scenario. Obviously, one is online banking. Then personal finance planning, like I said, opening an FD or some plans for the investment. If they are given directly on your website, it's easy and you can just read through it and open it. Mobile banking options with the app, definitely. Unified payment systems with the wallets, digital wallets. Then rewards and loyalty programs where you get the reward points using your credit card and so on. Obviously, we have to use a lot of credit card for getting those reward points. Then some non-internet based phone banking, some digital coupons and cashback, automatic bill payments. That's personally my favorite because when we see Paytm and when it's integrated with your bank account, it's very easy to make all the payments. It's a reminder for you to pay your electricity bill, gas bill, DTH, and all sorts of things. So it's automatically debited. If you don't set that automatic, you can go and just check it and debit it out. And secure messaging alerts, the message that you get after every transaction. Like I said before, security is the most important thing because we are dealing with customers' hard-earned money. So these are the 10 digital banking features that customer value. So if you are a product manager or a product owner in some of the banking industry, then you can just go through them and design any one of them if required. Now, how can we leverage fintech for digital banking? First of all, fintech. What is fintech and what is digital banking? Digital banking, as I say, digitization of all banking processes. And fintech is the use of technology for digitizing all the financial processes or all the banking operations. Now, how do we leverage that fintech? As you can see in the diagram, there is a digital banking platform, bank back office systems. Now, how do they talk to each other? They talk to each other with CRM technology and many other things. So most important is the technology here. And we all know that technology every now and then keeps updating and keeps changing. And as I said, legacy applications, use of new technology, it becomes a very difficult combination from the feasibility point of view. So even if as a product manager, there is certain feature that needs to be added, we need to identify and do the fab analysis, that is feature, advantage, and benefit analysis, and which gets the top priority, and then if it can be developed or not. So that is very important. So how do you leverage fintech for digital banking is, first of all, we need all the backend systems to talk to the digital banking platform. How do we ensure that? Knowing which technology can be used correctly in your banking platform. In each application also it has to vary because there can be certain legacy applications, new applications. So that also is important. Ensuring security and speed is very, very important. Then also how the customer wants it. How do we adopt to those changes, and how quickly do we adopt to those changes? Like if HDFC app, where I am a product manager, like I said before, if that is having the digital wallet payment, but then after that it does not have automatic bill payments, Then do I really want it? Do I see customers really wanting it? Not sorry me, but do I really see customers really wanting it? And then do I have the do I have the technological solutions to build it with a speed so that my competitors are not building it as effectively, or I can compete with that feature in the market with my app so that customers come and say, no, you can opt for the HDFC Bank app. Then there is one more thing that is required, that is chatbot. So I recently got to know that was a very good experience with Eva from HDFC. So my credit card somehow got disabled from online transactions. Now I tried to make some transaction. I just learned this, so I'm sharing my experience. And then what happened is that it gave me an automatic message, ask Eva and activate your card online. Now when I started it, I was very scared because it's a security thing. Then I went and read about it on the Google, if Ask Eva is the right thing to do or not. Then okay, there were good views. Then I started. It was just a 3-step thing. Earlier, I would have to call customer support, wait for it for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 10 minutes, and so on. Maybe I don't get the solution also. But with this Eva chatbot kind of thing, what I could do is just enter the last 4 digits of the card number, and no pin, nothing, as that messages or frequently come. I just have to enter the OTP and my card got activated. So that is the use of chatbot. That is how you see the HDFC has developed that chatbot, that if you're facing certain, and there were more options for doing certain things there. So this is like one example where where each and every one is building those platforms. So we really have to build it fast, with speed, and with accuracy, with the correct technological solutions which can support our legacy applications as well as the new applications. Even the loan repayment, has become a 2-minute thing today. We can just go, click, check our eligibility, check the EMI, and apply for a loan. Definitely certain documents needs to be uploaded, but that's not a big task. Otherwise, we need to go to the loan agent. We first also did not know to which agent we should go, but now we know online, we can read through it. So all these things helps with the help of technology. So we really need to understand the technology first, change the things with the speed, and go ahead with the digital banking features, which are most important for our banking platform to have more business and more customer value. So I would like to understand from all of you the key takeaway that you have got from this session. Shama, can I expect the poll, please?
Yeah. So the participants really feel that they need to have best of both the worlds, online banking as well as digitizing banking operations. So which is a clear winner, I hope.
Yes, I think if that is the clear winner, both 1 and 2, the option 3rd, I think I was able to deliver some good things with all of you. And thanks a lot for hearing me out. Yeah, I'm open to any questions now.
Yep. Shipra, in the interest of time, we have another 1 minute for question and answers. Shama,
I think we can take them offline, Shipra, if you do not mind. We have next session in line. So,
sure. So the participants can reach out to Shipra. And as it said, a small gratitude from the Institute of Product Leadership for sharing a valuable insight. It touches the everyday life and experience of people. You have resonated well. And the certificate of appreciation leads you to our Hall of Fame. You can scan and download the same. And thanks for, again, sharing your valuable insights, Shipra.
Thanks, Satya. Thanks, IPL, for giving this opportunity again. Thank you a lot.
Thanks, Shama. Over to you.
Thank you, speakers, for the brilliant talk. All the sessions were engaging with great insights. And thank you, Satya, for moderating the session gracefully and seamlessly, like always. Please accept the certificate of appreciation from the Institute for being the Open Conference Chair. Thank you once again for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.